Hey everyone, I'm Ash Marie, and this is They Forgot About Us, a true crime podcast that tells the stories of murdered and missing African American women, men, and children. On this episode of They Forgot About Us, I tell the story of Nia Wilson. Nia Wilson was only 18 years old when she was attacked and murdered while returning home from a party at her aunt's. Wilson was known for her many talents, including makeup, dance, and rapping. She was preparing to graduate high school and aspired to open up a dance studio. Sadly, her life would be tragically cut short by a senseless crime. This is her story. Nia Wilson was born November 12, 1999, to Anger El Muhammad and Alicia Grayson. She was the youngest out of her 8 siblings. Nia was a cheerleader and one day dreamed of opening her own dance studio. Nia was also a rapper and was in a girl group along with her cousins called Girls in the Hood. Wilson was a natural beauty and had a lot going for herself. Graduation was soon approaching, and she was thinking of becoming a paramedic or joining the military. So many plans ahead of her, only to be tragically killed before her life could fully start. On the night of July 22, 2018, Nia and her 2 sisters, Latifah and Tashia, were leaving a party that was held at their aunt's house in Concord, California. After not being able to find a ride home, the sisters decided to take the BART, short for Bay Area Rapid Transit. They decided to take the BART back to Oakland. Now, it was said that Nia did not like riding the BART. She felt it was disgusting and full of germs, but the sisters had no choice but to use it after again unsuccessfully being able to find a ride. Around 9:26 p.m., Nia and her sisters were transferring trains from Concord Station to MacArthur Station. This was the route that would lead them home. Unbeknownst to Nia and her sisters, Latifah and Tashia, Nia's killer was also riding on that same train. As the sisters exited the train, Tashia was a step ahead of Nia and Latifah, as they were waiting at the train door for a woman with a baby stroller to get off. It was at that moment that 27-year-old John Cowell came up from behind them and stabbed Nia in the neck twice and Latifah once. Tashia was already on the other train when she turned to see Nia had tripped, then saw all of the blood. Nia screamed out her sister's name as blood rapidly filled her torso area. Latifah was trying her best to calm Nia as she was panicking and going into shock. Nia's carotid artery had been hit, one of the major vessels to the brain. Latifah didn't realize she also had been wounded. Her main focus was Nia. John Cowell, Nia's attacker, stood back silently, wiping his knife, then fled the scene. Latifah tried her best to soothe her sister, but sadly Nia bled to death on the train platform. Nia's attacker, having fled the scene, blended in with the crowd to make his escape. He encountered police on his way out of the station and pretended to be a witness to the attack. Police body cam footage showed the encounter. Police unknowingly let Nia's attacker get away. He then proceeded to a nearby parking structure where he changed out of his blood-stained clothes, leaving them, as well as his backpack and murder weapon. He hops on a bus and disappears into the night. Back at the BART station, Tashia frantically called their dad to tell them what happened. He could barely understand his daughter, but knew something was wrong and rushed down to the station. When he arrived, police and ambulances crowded outside the station. He saw Latifah being loaded into the ambulance and asked her what happened. She told him to go check on Nia. Angard never expected to see what he saw. 18-year-old Nia Wilson, his baby girl, was gone. Nia's family is left in shock over what has happened and are trying to wrap their heads around the fact that this transpired and who was the person that took Nia away from them. Nia's sisters did not know the man responsible for this unspeakable crime. Neither did Nia. The girls were left trying to figure out if they encountered him in any way before the murder. They had not. The sisters were targeted at random for no apparent reason. A 24-hour citywide manhunt began for Nia's killer. Police were able to identify John Lee Cowell by the surveillance videos in the station. He was arrested Monday evening at another BART station, thanks to an anonymous tip. His charges were first-degree murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and violation of parole. The news of Nia's murder spread widely across social media, and many felt Nia and her sisters, Latifah and Tashia's, attack was racially motivated. BART Police Chief Carlos Rojas said police didn't have any information to suggest the crime was racially motivated. Despite law enforcement's comments waving off a hate crime, the community was outraged, and several protesters took to the streets to remember Nia and demand justice. On August 3, 2018, hundreds of people gathered for Nia Wilson's funeral in Oakland. The family wore white and gold. Nia's aunt, Brandy Williams, said gold is royalty, white is pure. It's what Nia was. 18 doves were released at the end of Nia's service, each representing 18 years of her life. Nia's casket was then taken away by a horse-drawn carriage. On July 17, 2020, almost 2 years after Nia's death, John Lee Cowell was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Don't let anyone who hurt me get away with it. Nia had previously told her 19-year-old cousin this while having a conversation. Nia's unthinkable murder led to more protests around the city. The hashtags Say Her Name and Nia Wilson went viral on social media. Nia Wilson's family established a foundation in honor of her. The Nia Wilson Foundation, established in 2019, its mission is to provide resources such as housing, counseling services, and employment for young men and women. Remember her for her, not what you hear. Nia was loving, caring, and helped any and everybody, her sister Latifah stated. Nia Wilson was 18 years old, just starting out her life, when she was tragically taken from her family, friends, and loved ones. R.I.P. Nia, you are truly missed.
Thank you for listening. Follow us on Instagram at They Forgot About Us Podcast. Please email us at theyforgotaboutus@gmail.com. Leave us a comment and give us a rating.